Our first ever league race. This should be a lot of fun, guys. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good holiday season. We are at Bristol. I feel like Bristol's been our most, I would say, raced at track. We've been at Bristol a lot lately. But this is a league race. It just happened to be at Bristol, which is probably good news for us. We're in the Xfinity Series car. This is our qualifying lap. And this is actually the Nork series. If you guys have heard of Nork, it is a pretty good series and has a lot of really good drivers. And we are able to qualify third in our first ever league race, above Jared, right below Marcus, who's a professional driver. We did really, really well, to say the least. But here's Tyrell with the call.
We're here at Bristol. Everybody get the wave going. Wave to your girlfriend. Wave to your mama. Cause we're getting ready to go green.
8 cars in. Green, green, green.
Thank you very much, TCB, for the beautiful call. We are underway 200 laps at Bristol with, I think, a full field it was, or around 36 cars. And it was going to be a hectic race. We have Hunter Combs in the lead, Marcus Richardson, who is a part of the Peak Antifreeze Series Pro iRacing. So he's like a pro driver. And then Jared right behind us, who is basically like a pro driver. He's not a pro driver yet, but I love him, so he's a pro driver to me. And you guys know Jared from the Talladega video. So that's our paint scheme. Now, I wanted, for our first race, I wanted to be very, in a way that we can be seen. You're not going to miss my car. We got a beautiful little paint scheme on there that is very expressive, to say the least. And we're fighting here. JJ, I like to call him JJ a lot, but I'll call him Marcus. Marcus gets to the lead. No big surprise. He is the pro driver here. He's incredibly good. And we're actually trying to follow suit and running in third, trying to make a pass on the bottom to get underneath Hunter in second. And we're doing pretty well, trying to get the bottom to work. So what I didn't realize, though, because at Bristol I've been in the K&N cars a lot, and in Xfinity cars, the bottom actually works. So I didn't realize that, and I didn't really know how to make the bottom work. So we're trying to pass Hunter, but we couldn't do it, just because that bottom for us wasn't really coming in. And I think it has something to do with the brake bias, because after, and the caution just comes out right there, because after talking with Marcus and some of the other guys in the room, as you can see a wreck in turn 1, brake bias has a lot to do with it, and I didn't put the brake bias low enough, so I think it was going to be really hard for the entire race to get the bottom to work, but we're going to continue to try. Now, on pit road, we have a little bit of a problem here. I don't know what happened. I couldn't go. I was in the throttle, and I couldn't go. I was in second gear by accident, but then even when I went to first gear, I still couldn't go. So I don't know what happened there. We fall back to 6th place, but not a big deal. We're still in the top 10. Our goal for this race was a top 10 because our first race, still really inexperienced. This was done on December 12th, I think it was. That's when I did this race. So still very inexperienced and just trying to get a little bit of room. There's Freddie coming up and almost very close. Had to get out of the throttle there a little bit because he was actually going to come up into us if we didn't. But that's just how Freddie races, and Freddie's really aggressive. He'll put his car in places that I can't yet. I'm just not confident enough. But you can see we're running 6. We are holding our own. There are 36 drivers in this field, so being able to hold our own. Jared gets a little bit loose coming out of 2. Apparently there was some contact with him and Freddie, and Jared gets stuck on the bottom lane, and we are going past him on the top. Now, the thing I really like about the Bristol and the Xfinity Series is the bottom and the top are kind of like, they're kind of equal if you could get the bottom to work. It's a very iffy thing there. But now we're running in 5th place, right behind the yellow 70 car, and we're doing pretty well, like I said, trying to get the bottom to work. Every time we have room behind us and we're not being pressured, I'm going to the bottom to see if it can work. Another caution comes out, and we move on a little bit later in the race. The lap counter is down on the bottom, right? You can see it's a really long race, so just trying to keep off the wall and just trying to be very patient and time these restarts. You see, I did not get a good restart there, and I was trying to work on it there throughout the race. That restart was our second restart, and we just didn't have a good one at all. But the good news was the guy in 8th place didn't get a good restart either, so we just go to the top lane and we get a nice start. A huge wreck apparently coming out of 4 or something like that, and that brings out another caution. I think 10 to 15 drivers were involved in that one. So another restart comes through, and the restart is a little bit better for us. But again, I'm not really timing it right. It's something I have to learn apparently. I just got to keep my eye on the leader and just be very focused on when to actually go when I see him go. So again, behind the 70, Jared's moved up to 3rd. We're running in the top 5, and we haven't really had an eventful race. We haven't made contact with anyone. We haven't had any trouble with anyone. We haven't pissed anyone off at Bristol, which is good news. And we're just kind of running on race, continuing to try and run the bottom. Like I said, if I have a little bit of room behind me, which now we don't, and this is where a little bit of a mistake comes in. I thought I had room behind me, but now we're kind of stuck on the bottom in a place where I'm trying to make it work, but it's not working yet, and now we're kind of stuck here. I wanted to get back to the top lane, but can't do anything. Have to give room to the top lane there, and we will eventually fall back a little bit because of that mistake. Like I said, as long as we stay in the top 10, as long as we stay out of trouble, not terrible. So the 59, I think that's Bobby Cheney, I think it is. He is above us, and then Josh Robin in the 8 goes above us, and we back out of the throttle and go straight to the top lane and just say, all right, let's chill, let's get back up here. We're around the 70 car, and we'll be good. So let's move on a little bit later, and we're behind Josh. I'm starting to make the bottom work just a little bit, and we make a move down here. Let's see if we can make it work. The thing I realized is that people, they really break early when they get to the bottom, and apparently the car just turns. I don't know how, but they're doing really a good job with it. Right here, we turn right in the center of the corner, get to the bottom. We're making up some ground on Josh. This time we just got to drive it in a little bit deeper, run that middle lane, cut it down to the bottom, and we should be able to get Josh clear coming into 3 and out of 4. And that's our first pass actually made really in the race. We didn't really make a pass the entire race. We were just holding onto our good track position, but now we finally make a pass, move up through the field. The 88's below us. He's actually a really good driver as well. Apparently he's trying to go pro. So the North League has a couple of drivers that do pro racing, so that is pretty cool. And a caution comes out for the car that you saw below us that wrecked, and we are in pit road. We don't have a pit road incident this time, so this time we're able just to go get out of pit road. I think we come out in 5th or 6th, I think it was. We come out in 6th. So this is where we've been most of the race. Here's another restart with Marcus up front and Jared up front as well. And this was our worst restart. You can see we lose a lot of positions. I don't know what it is with me and my restarts. I'm acting like an old Jeff Gordon out here. But it is really just a lack of experience. That's all I can say about it. We just have a little bit of trouble timing it because we've never really been in this kind of situation where the race is this long. We have this many talented drivers around us, and it's all, you know, games and all that stuff that the restarts are. And another big wreck, which is not surprising at Bristol, but another big wreck occurs somewhere in the back, and as long as we stay up front, we really don't have to deal with any of that. So we're in 6th place again for the restart, and again, not the best of starts. I don't know if it's something with my, should I be in 1st gear? I mean, I can't even get in 1st gear. I'm stuck in 2nd gear on the restart, so I don't know what it is, but I cannot get going on these restarts. And we're losing a lot of time on that because we're getting lucky being 6th. You don't want to be on the inside lane on these restarts. You want to be on the outside. So we're getting lucky that we're having bad restarts, yet we're not really costing ourselves because, you know, we're on the top lane. But here we're starting to fall back a little bit as Femi in the 3 car moves ahead. And we're starting to fall back. Get a little bit of contact in the wall as well. The right side of the car is getting a little bit beat up. Josh is below us now. We get in the wall again. And I think it's maybe like, I know it sounds weird, but it's also a fatigue thing, a mental fatigue thing. Never done a race this long. All the races on iRacing I've ever done have been a couple of you know, one run maybe. So 200 laps, long time. We got into the wall multiple times, so we have multiple pit repairs. Now I thought getting the pit repairs done was a good idea, but apparently it wasn't. At Bristol, you don't want to repair your damage. And look where we are. We lose all our track position. We're back in 24th. 24th. And we have a lot of work to do. All those wrecks that happened back in this area of the field is now up to us to get through. And this was the true moment of the race. We're just past halfway, and we have to be careful. We're faster than all these guys. Shout out to the 62. That's Joseph Lombard, N2SC4R. He's also in this league. He's there. And he actually gets a little bit of trouble there. And we're able to round him up. So he is in this league as well, so that's pretty cool. 2 of your favorite YouTubers. And now we just continue working on the bottom. Now, my thought process here is we get pinched down pretty hard there by the 04. Just be careful. There's still about 90 laps to go. We can make it through. We're faster than all these guys. You know, we had to repair a little bit of damage. Apparently, it doesn't really make a difference. But we're back behind the 70 car. And like I said, it is what it is. But this is where the moment of the race the top lane's booked, the bottom lane's booked. So where do we go? Do you want to go 3 wide? And right here, I'm thinking about it, but not a good idea. This isn't NASCAR Heat 2, no offense. You can't just be banging it 3 wide all the time and thinking you're gonna get away with it, because you're not. It's not gonna happen. So again, we're moving up through the field a little bit. The top lane checks up, trying to get to the bottom, but the 70's down there, and we can't really get around him, so we're just stuck. And this is a real patience test for me. Right here, I want to go 3 wide, but we don't do it. We back out of it. A little bit of contact on the 70, and then the caution comes out. Gave that little tap, just try to tell him to go a little bit. Didn't want to wreck him, just a nice little tap. But we move on. Now, after pit stops, we come back, and a nice restart here on the bottom lane. The top lane just didn't really get going, but again, I still think I didn't get the best of restarts. But we're starting to move up. We're in the top 15 now, so we're slowly moving back up through the field, getting around all the mayhem in the back, and trying to start moving up through the field. The 49's on our outside. We're running the bottom. We have fresh tires as well. And we're doing pretty well. Now the top lane checks up a little bit because everyone wants to get there. We just dive it down to the bottom lane, and the 92 here, now he is the driver that pissed me off a little bit, as it's 3 wide in front of us with Femi and all those guys. The 92 you'll see here gets into us for some reason. I don't know why. He just body slammed us down the straightaway. We were giving him plenty of room, so I did not really appreciate that. But, you know, it is what it is. It's the back of the pack. I kind of understand it. So we move on. We're still side by side with the 92, okay? We're trying to get around him. And here we come out of the back straightaway, and he gets into us here again for no reason. We get loose entering 1. I almost take out Cody right in front of us. It doesn't look like a lot there, but I was sliding hard because I got hit in my right rear quarter panel entering the corner. I should have been turned there. Now here you don't really see a great angle of it, but there's a little bit of contact there that makes me slide up, and luckily we were able to stay off of Cody. You'll see a much better shot here. Right here, I have no clue why he's turning down. That gets us a little bit loose. And I was heated on the radio. I immediately keyed my mic and was like, what in the hell are you doing? Because it's twice. You know, when it happens once, I'm fine with it. But when it's twice and it's down in the straightaways and I'm giving you room on the top lane, that's a problem. And I was heated. This ain't just some, you know, unranked race. This is a league race I take very seriously, and I was ticked off. Now we passed the 57, a little bit of contact there, but we had him cleared. So we move on, and we are back in the top 10. Our goal is reached, no offense. Now, we're in the middle of a really long green flag run. We move on way later in the race. This is around lap 165. Nothing's really happening, and we just kind of running all by ourselves. There's no one behind us. There's no one in front of us. We're just running in 10th place. And then the caution would come out. We would pit, and because of some drivers that have to pit on the backstretch, we move up to 5th place in the race. So we're back to where we kind of were at the beginning part of the race. Another restart comes. A much better restart there. We didn't really lose a lot of time. The top lane checks up a little bit. We're going to see if we could get into 5th place here. But the top lane is still kind of king here on these restarts. Unless you can really make the bottom work, which I really couldn't. Marcus and Jared could, Freddie could, Femi could, but Femi had the 3-car in Femi. He had a backstretch pit stall. When you have a backstretch pit stall in iRacing, you lose a lot of spots during pit road. But we were able to continue on. A very, very close call right there with Josh. He thought he was clear. I was trying to stick my nose in there, but me and Josh are really good friends, so I back out of the throttle and let him have the spot, and he apologized as well. That's good racing, though. See, it's nice when you race around people you know, unlike the 92, who was really pissing me off. Now, behind us, the 3-car and Femi, he's trying to make up the position he lost. The 23 and Kyle, he hits us right in the rear, almost sends us into the wall, and I'm just trying to be patient here. I'm not trying to run into Josh. You do not want to get on the bottom. You can see there, he just nailed us heading into the corner. Very lucky to stay off the wall there. Femi was also getting annoyed with the 23 as well. And the 3-car Femi, he's not really happy because he's trying to get around the 23. 23 is trying to get around me, but he's not really trying to make a move. He's just hitting me in the rear for some reason. I'm trying to stay off Josh, and then Femi turns the 23. And I don't think the 23 was very happy about that. But I kind of was, because the 23 kept hitting me into the corners, and I was not appreciating that. While I was trying to stay off of Josh. So Femi took care of the business there, and he moves up. Now, key moment of the race, 30 laps to go, or 20 laps to go. Do you pit? Do you not? Marcus decides to pit. Everyone else decides to stay out. Now half the field pitted, half stayed out, but most of the front guys stayed out. So we have about 20 or about 15 laps to go here. Marcus is on fresh tires. He's in the back. We are not. So Marcus is probably going to come through like a hot cake right here. But we are going to come through and try and get a nice top 5 finish. That might be our chance. We're on the bottom lane, which is not great, as the bottom lane doesn't really move. Now we're getting tight. Femi and Josh are on the outside. They get going. And we're kind of stuck here. Everyone moves to the outside. If you look in our mirror, here comes a black with pink number 01 flying through the field. He forces his way 3 wide. I saw him in the middle of the corner, so I gave him the room, and I was like, dude, I'm not holding you up. I am not doing this. He cuts down on us. He gets a little bit of contact on us. I'm scared because I don't want to wreck him, so I back out of the throttle completely. Lose plenty of time. We're just getting annihilated on this restart. We're stuck on the bottom 3 wide. Freddie goes through the middle. And I mean, this is from JJ's point of view, Marcus, and he just no fear whatsoever. I was driving with fear that entire time because I didn't want to get in his way. He just bulldozed his way through the field, which was really impressive, and I guess that's what a pro driver does. They're really able to control their car. Caution would come out, and we're stuck in around 10th place or 11th place or 12th place, somewhere around there. We lost like 7 spots in that restart. That was terrible. But we get going here. We're in 10th place, and at this moment, it's gonna be most likely the end of the race because there's no green-white checkered, so we only have 5 laps to go. If there's caution comes out, it's over. We're on the top lane, which is really good. We want to get a top 10 finish, and right here, we're just trying to hold the top lane. That's all we're trying to do. While Marcus is going after Jared for the win, and we're just trying to hold the top lane. A wreck happens here in turn 4. Caution comes out. The race is over. We get a solid finish in 9th, while Jared in the 1 car is able to win the race just in time. That caution came out just in time because the 0-1 of Marcus was on his way. 1 more lap, and I really think Marcus would have gotten around Jared. But it is what it is. Caution comes out. Race is over. Jared wins it. We finished 9th in our first ever league race in a really competitive field, which I'm very proud about. We give Josh a little bit of a tap. We give Jared our little congratulatory, I'm going to beat you up a little hello. You know, that's what all the friends do. So he wins the race. We move on. And Jared, during his burnouts, he legitimately said nobody hit me, and he absolutely gets nailed. And that was that. Our first ever league race in the Nork series. Guys, if you like the video, make sure to like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I was very proud with how I did. 9th place. I don't know when the next time I'm doing a Nork race is because it is the holidays and I'm not home. I'm not doing anything right now. But when I do another one, I'll post that up here. If you guys enjoyed the league races, let me know. I'll post more of them. And no, I'm not joining anyone else's league. This is the only league I'm part-timing in. I'm not really doing anything else. So guys, if you like the video, make sure to like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Congratulations to Jared on the win. Very proud of our 9th place finish. Hopefully you guys have a happy holidays, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, she keeps me warm.